Alright, welcome back to this SAT class. So today we are going to continue from where we stopped in our last class. We stopped at solving of question number 14. So we are going to make sure we solve up to question 18 today and then we continue. Now we want to look at question number 14. Number 14 here is a simultaneous equation, that is linear equation in two variables. So you have 24x plus y equal to 48 and 6x plus y equal to 72. That is the equation that we want to deal with. Now, I'm going to be using what is called elimination method. Since the y here have the same coefficient, all I need to do is to find a way to turn them to 0. And what I can do is subtracting. So I can say 24x plus y take away 6x plus y equal to 48 minus 72. So that will be 24x plus y minus 6x minus y equal to 48 minus 72. So in that case, this will cancel this. I'm left with 24x minus 6x equal to, now 48 take away 72, that will be minus 24. So we have minus 24, and then 24 take away s, 24 take away 6, that will be 18. So you have 18x equal to minus 24. So with this now, you have your x equal to minus 24 over 18. So 6 can go here 4 times, 6 can go here 3 times. So my answer is 4 over 3. Now, I can get the value of y by inserting this into equation 1 or equation 2. So I have 6x plus y equal to 72. So insert x there, that's minus 4 over 3 plus y equal to 72. This is minus 24 over 3 plus y equal to 72. 3 here will give you a 6, right? Is a 6. So that will be minus 8 rather plus y equal to 72. So your y is going to be 72 plus 8, and then y is going to be what? 80. So that is how to solve that question. So the value of y here is 80. Alright, now let's look at number 15. Line T in xy plane has a slope of minus 1 over 3 and passes through point this. Which equation defines line T? Now for us to do that, we are given the gradient already, or the slope is 1 over 3. So we are going to be using the simple formula y minus y1 equal to m in bracket of x minus x1. So your y1 is 9, sorry, your y1 is 10, your x1 is 9. So y minus your y1 is 10, then minus 1 over 3, your x1 is 9. So y minus 10 equal to minus x over 3 plus 9 over 3. So that would be y minus 10 equal to minus x over 3 plus a 3. So if you bring this one down here, you have y equal to minus x over 3 plus 3 plus 10, and that will be x minus x over 3 plus a 13, which is this particular value here, D. Now let's look at question number 16. Now this particular question, I want you to pay attention to it because it looks complicated to people, right? But the question is actually very simple. They are only asking for our interpretation, which is a knowledge of testing how well you understand a particular concept. Now they said the function f of x is equal to 206 multiplied with 1.034 to exponent x. Model the value in dollars of a certain bank account by the end of each year from 1957 through 1972. Now, where x is the numbers of years after 1957. So if x is 1, that will be 1958. If x is 2, that will be 1958 and 1959. Right? Which of the following is best interpretation of f of 5 is approximately equal to 243 in this context? Now, for us to look at this, as I said earlier, it's very simple. F of x, the x is talking about the numbers of year, right? If you look at it, number of years after what? 1957. Now, for f of 5, that means 5 years after, which means that 1957, that will be 1958 again, 1959, 1960, 1962. So we are look at it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is after 5 years. So 1962. Now let's go and look at the option. They said the value of the bank account is estimated to be approximately $5 greater in 1962 than in 1957. Well, we are not going to stress ourselves on this one, but let's still ring it. It is something that we can work up later. The value of the bank account is estimated to be approximately $243 in 1962. This is really making sense. Yeah, let's look at this one too. The value in dollars of the bank account is estimated to be approximately 5 times greater in 1962 than in 1957. Okay, the value of the bank account is estimated to increase by approximately $243 every 5 years. Now, this, we don't even need this. We cannot even ascertain this one. But A and B is something that we can work with. Now, for us to get the best interpretation, since they told us that which of the following is the best interpretation of what? F of 5 is approximately equal to 243. So that means the value of the bank account is estimated to be approximately 243 in 1962. That is just the best answer for it. It's as simple as that. So that is what the question is trying to test, if you understand how to break something down or not. Now they said number 17. Let me screenshot number 17 and then I will bring it down so that we can work with it in a very large space. And they said for a certain rectangular region, the ratio of length ratio width is 35:10. So meaning that this is this and this is this. So we can have length over W to be 35/10. If the width of the rectangular region increased by 7. Now, this is just like saying you are dealing with constant of proportionality, right? So we can say 10L is equal to 35W by what? Cross multiply. So divide both side by 10. By 10, your L is 3.5W. Now, if the width of the rectangular region increased by 7, that means the width increased by 7. How must the length change to maintain this ratio? So that means W plus 7 will change the value of L to L plus, let's say, X. We don't know the increment, right? So we can then say that L plus X is equal to 3.5 in bracket of, now remember that W is now increased to what? W plus 7. So L plus X is 3.5 W plus 24.5. Of course, if you multiply that, if you multiply 3.5 times 7, you have 24.5. So in that case now, you have L plus X equal to, now this 3.5W is just this man here, so I can represent it back. So now I can say this cancel this, then my X is what, 24.5. So that means the L must also what, increase by what, 24.5 units, which make B to be the best answer to it. Now let's look at number 18. I'll also do well to screenshot that so that we can have a bigger space to work with. This one also is a word problem that I so much love, right? They said square P has a side length of x inches. So square P now, length is x. Now square Q has a perimeter that is 176 inches greater than the perimeter of square P. So square Q is 176 plus perimeter of P. Let me just short it like that. Now that means square Q is going to be 176 plus 4x. Since x is the side length of P and the perimeter is going to be 4x like that. So what is square Q? They now said which of the following define f. But remember that f, the function f, gives the area of the square. So before we can find the area, we need to know the side length now, right? We need to know the side length of what we are dealing with. So the side length of Q is, remember that this is the perimeter of Q. So the side length is going to be perimeter over what? 4. That will help us to divide it. So we have 176 plus 4x over 4. So if you split it, 176 over 4 plus 4x over 4. So looking at this, what is 176 divided by 4? That will give you 44. So we have 44 plus x. So that means the side length of Q is 4x, 44 plus x. So now for us to find the area, it's going to be 44 plus x to the power of 2. So that is just how you can get that answer. It's as simple as that. Now I said we are going to continue. We'll do more questions today as well. So I think we've solved some of these ones here. So let's continue from where we actually stopped. Now this is number 19 that we are dealing with. Now that number 19 is something that is very much easy, and I want us to do well to pay attention to it. Now this is a subject of the formula. They said the given equation relates the distinct positive real numbers w, x, y, and z. Which equation correctly express w in terms of x and y? So what they're trying to say is that they want you to write the formula to be w equal to something, right? That is what they're trying to tell you. So this is going to be very easy, but pay attention to it. Now when dealing with subject of the formula, it is better you think of every other thing that you have in your formula as a number, except the number that you want to make as the subject. For example, now we want to make w the subject of the formula. So we are going to find a way to make sure that w stands on its own. So let's look at it. Okay, plus 19. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to divide it by 2 here. So that will be 14x over 14y equal to square root of w plus 19. This can cancel this, so I have x over y equal to square root of w plus 19. Now for me to remove this square root, I'm going to need to square both sides. So that will be x squared over y square equal to this. We cancel this, then w plus 19. So I have x square over y square minus 19 equal to w. So this is the formula. So if you look at it, it is the c here, and it's as simple as that. That is just it. Now they said number 20. Point O is the center of a circle. The measure of arc Rx. Now let's draw something out here. No, this is not a circle. Let me draw it here. Now they said point O is the center of the circle. The measure of arc Rx on this circle is 100 degrees. So let's say you have your R here and your this thing here. So your RS. So the measure of this is 100 degrees. And I say what is the measure in degrees if of its associated angle ROS. So ROS will still be what? 100 degrees. This question is just tricky. There's nothing there. Sincerely, there is nothing there to do. They just ask you the same thing back. There is nothing there. So they are asking you that, okay, this is the center O, right? What is now the value of this O? That will be RO, which is what? The measure of the arc, which is 100 degrees. It's as simple as that. Now number 21. The expression is equivalent to AX equivalent to what? Power B rather. AX exponent B, where A and B are positive constant and X is greater than 1. What is the value of A plus B? Well, this is not something that is hard, right? It just needs your attention, right? Once you pay attention to it, you are going to get what is going on there. So we have 6, this, x45, now for us to do this, we should know that we can split them. Now this is going to be 6 in bracket of 3 x to the power of 9 multiplied by a 2, because this will cancel, then we have what? X 1 over 8. Now if you move everything together, 6 times 3 is what? 18 times 2, that will give you 36 x 9 plus 1 over 8. So you have 36 x. Now we want to look at the fraction of this one. That will be that's 72, that's 73 over 8. So now if you look at it, A is 36, B is 73 over 8. What is the value of A plus B? So that will be 36 plus 73 over 8. So your LCM here is 8. Now if you do the LCM, 36 times 8 is 288 plus 73. Now let's add it together. 288 plus 73, and that will give you what? 361 over 8, and it's as simple as that. That is just how to deal with that 21. Now number 22. They said the right triangle has side length this, and root 80. What is the area of the triangle in square unit? Okay, now remember that this is how a right angle triangle looks like. Now they said the side lengths are this, so meaning that what? Every of these lengths have its own value, and we know that hypotenuse is the longest side. So if you find the square root of, let's look at it, the square root of 2 root 3, right? If you find the square root of 2 root 3, or sorry, if you find the square root of 2 root 2 rather, let me find the square root. 2 root 2 root 2 is going to be 2.828. If you find 6 root 2, it will give you 8.485. If you find square root of 80, it will give you 8.944. So meaning that what, this is our hypotenuse, while this one can be either the opposite or the rest. So we have root 80 here, then I can put 6 root 2 here, and I can put 2 root 2 here. And we know that for us to find the area of a triangle, we are going to be using half base height. The base and the height are the two lines that form the angle 90 degree. So meaning that what, we have 1 over 2 times your base is 2 root 2 times your height is 6 root 2. So if you solve this together now, you are going to see that you will have 2 root 2 times 6 root 2 over 2, which is going to be 2 times 6 is 12, root 2 times root 2 is 2, then over 2, and that will give us what, 12. So that is why 12 is the final answer to this. So we are going to continue to solve from question number 23 up to the last part in our next video.